What's up, guys? Welcome to the Bomb Squad. The return of William. He's back.
Hello.
William, quickly, what did you think of Species? I forgot what movie we even watched. Did you watch
Species?
it?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought
He
you
always
had watched
watches
it
it
already.
like an hour before we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we had a
Yeah.
lot of stuff going on, so
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was okay. Someone got real mad in our comments. I'm sorry, man. We didn't agree with Species, but it had a lot of potential. So we
But it
agree
didn't
on
live
some
up to it.
parts.
Oh, I'll have to go look.
Let's meet in the middle.
So you guys were saying that this species should go extinct.
Yeah, we did.
Wow.
Yes. And also this week, The Long Walk came out. That's that movie based on a Stephen King book.
Yeah. I want to see that.
Starring Junior Hoffman. And it's about so the movie is like, oh, you're walking along the country, and if you stop, they kill you. But if you make it, you get like $1 billion or a wish or something. And so
You get one wish.
Yeah, it's a genie at the end. He's like, okay. It's like, this is an Aladdin.
I mean, it could be.
And
Wait,
because
is
of
it
that, to do a similar premise, we wanted to talk about a movie that's very similar. It's called Death Race 2000.
I see the connection.
And yes, and so check it out. We'll come right back with these commercials, but stick around to see this. Thank you so much for joining us on the Bomb Squad. Please give a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to support our channel, other than that, the best way to do it right now is to watch our movies. We have the boxing documentary Humble Spirits. We have the Mexploitation thriller Borderland about missing cartel money. Those movies are both on Tubi. Also on Tubi and Screambox, you can watch the zombie drama, The Last Ones, and of course, The Empty Space, a cosmic horror about grief and loneliness. We hope you enjoy those movies. Tell us what you think if you do watch them. And of course, you can always follow my other YouTube page, which is my shorts page, to see some short films, or just join us here. Thank you so much again, and please keep supporting the channel. Wow, I do want to watch all those movies, Andrew.
Whoa.
Great suggestions.
Yeah.
They're all on Tubi. That's easy. What else is on Tubi is Death Race 2000. So Death Race 2000
Absolutely.
came out in 1975. It is directed by Paul Bartel. It was written by Robert Thorne, Charles B. Griffith. People in the 70s had very easy names.
I know, and they were cool too.
And it was also, and they're way cooler than us. Yeah, it was also a famous Roger Corman film. Roger Corman's the famous producer he made like movies for nothing, but he gave so many people chances.
Yeah.
Ron Howard, it was his first movie.
Jonathan Demme.
Scorsese did one for him with his second one. Of course, James Cameron worked on one and almost quit from Piranha, but they didn't let him. So many people. Jack Nicholson, the very first version of Little Shop of Horrors, was a breakout role for Jack Nicholson. I think he might have even produced Easy Rider. I know he's produced some surprisingly shocking ones.
I don't know. Did he do Easy Rider? It doesn't really matter.
I don't know.
He was just such a major guy. He was like, it was because he made like schlock movies, but like everyone that he worked with ended up becoming like a major star. So he was like pivotal to like everything that we know and love today.
Right. His web connects them all, you would say.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it stars, and then speaking of that, it also stars in his first feature film, debut, David Carradine. He had been working on Kung Fu up until that point. The youngins probably know him as Bill in the movie Kill Bill.
Yeah,
he has passed away, of course, rest in peace. But he plays Frankenstein, and you'll get to the names in a second. Also, in his first major film role, who also wrote some of his own lines because he's the greatest writer of all time, Oscar nominated. I haven't been paying attention to what he's been doing lately, so I'm going to pretend that I still idolize him. Sylvester Stallone.
Mr. Stallone.
He plays our favorite. He plays the hometown hero, Machine Gun Joe Viterbo.
What's his hometown?
I don't know. What is it?
Chicago.
There you go.
He's a Chicago gangster.
Speaking
City
of
Angels,
Sylvester Stallone, Sylvester Stallone starred in Rambo 2, of course. Oh, it's the shirt I'm wearing.
Oh my god!
Starring Rambo Part 2. Go check it out. And the bad guy in that movie is also the bad guy from Karate Kid. It's Michael Cove, who's also in this movie as Nero the Hero.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and it also has Don
knew?
Steele.
Yeah.
See, this is something very smart that Running Man also did, which we'll talk about when Running Man comes out. So expect that review. But Don Steele was like a real radio announcer, and in this he plays a radio announcer, so he doesn't really even have to act that much. He's just still playing his announcer guy thing.
Yeah,
and,
he's so good too. He's
yeah,
like one of the highlights of the film. He's the best.
yeah. And Running Man did it too with the guy who plays the game show host. They used the guy who played Family Feud, whose name I will know by the time we review that movie. And so I think that's just a really, like, that's one of the things where it's like, that takes a smart producer to be like, we don't need to hire an actor. We need to just hire an announcer guy and he'll do it, you know?
I mean, that makes a lot of sense because he was like extraordinary. And I was like, this is just some random guy. I didn't know he was a radio guy.
It's almost like a meta narrative to it, you know? I think it's cool. Yeah.
So now, Josh, why don't you tell us about this plot?
Okay. In the future of the year 2000.
Oh, that's right.
there is a death race. It is a national spectacle, and bunch of very colorful characters in the death race. You get points for killing people on the death race, and the main death racer Frankenstein has a secret agenda, and that's kind of what we're following is Frankenstein's journey through the film.
Yeah.
Right. Think Carmageddon with a plot. If anybody remembers Carmageddon.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, yes. And so the movie starts off, and it starts off immediately by them playing the national anthem. So you know that this movie is it's like a political satire. It's a sci-fi film. It takes place in the future. And so, yes, in the future, America's kind of turned fascist. They have this tournament every year where these cars like go across, and they're basically the gladiators of the time or the sports stars of our time. And so they all have different, like, the coolest thing is like, well, there's Calamity Jane, played by Mary Warrove. It's a terrible name, Mary. Come on. But she's dressed like a cowgirl, and her car is like shaped like a bull, like it has horns and a bull nose.
And they're like half cars. They're like they don't have roofs.
Kind of stock cars, but with two seats.
Yeah, they're supposed to kind of look like racing cars. You know what? They literally look like Hot Wheels. So in your mind, think of Hot Wheel connection. Yes. And like then there's Attila the Hun, who is, if I don't know if we'll get demonetized, but if you were in World War II and you were on the bad guy side, she has a car like that.
She was a member of the German Axis powers.
Yes, exactly.
And you see many of those flags from her.
There are many symbols of that power waving at the very beginning of the film.
Not only that, but the American flag, which they show, has been replaced with just a fist, just in case you were wondering how heavy-handed this movie was going to be.
And how the country's doing.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and then Machine Gun Joe Viterbo, played by Stallone, he's the second most popular one.
Yeah.
And he has two Tommy guns, which are not machine guns, Machine Gun Joe. So they're Tommy guns on the side of it, and then a big knife, because he was already in Rambo mode at this time. It's literally the Rambo knife, which is insane.
Wait, so when did Rambo come out versus this movie? Did Rambo come out after?
Yeah, this is
like one of his first.
Yeah, this is his first role.
Okay.
Other than he had done like the Woody Allen movie, and then he did this.
Okay.
But the Woody Allen movie, he's only in like, he's like a thug.
Barely in it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think he talks. But yeah, so he has a Rambo knife, which just proves that he really likes those knives.
Totally.
And so he's the second in command, and like, again, to show you the environment they're in, like, they're all like, the announcer's like, here comes Machine Gun Joe, and they're not gonna like, the crowd doesn't seem to like him. They love Frankenstein, and everyone's like, Frankenstein. And so Machine Gun Joe like gets out of the car and he's like, Frankenstein, I'll give you Frankenstein. And then he shoots him with a machine gun, and everyone's just clapping.
No one cares. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all just like, all right, we're cool with it.
And the Frankenstein fans, they all have sweaters on that have the letter F. That's it. Frankenstein.
Very good. So you know it's Frankenstein. And so Frankenstein, played by David Carradine, he's this very disfigured, they've put him together a million times. When the movie starts, they're literally wheeling him out of the hospital because he just like got out of surgery.
Like an organ transplant or something like that.
Yeah, he's completely covered in leather. You can only see like his burned skin. And so he's coming out. He's the most popular one because despite everything that's happened to him, he's always won the death race.
Right.
And so he comes out, and they all, to be clear, they have what are they called? Companions, right?
Navigators.
Navigators.
They
have
each
navigators.
have a navigator.
And they're always the opposite sex, and also they're kind of a sex slave. They kind of imply that it's like a sacrifice, like you give up your body in every single way. But then also sometimes no. Some of them are couples. Just like it's kind of like an arranged marriage type of thing.
No one's upset about it in any of these arrangements.
Yeah,
it's
part of their
maybe
culture.
Stallone's girlfriend, but she seems cool with it. I don't know.
No, she seems like it. He doesn't seem to like her very much. He keeps calling her. My favorite line, which it's like you read the trivia and they're like, "Oh yeah, Stallone wrote some of his lines," and then you see the movie and Stallone calls someone a turkey. He calls his girlfriend. He goes, "You know what? You're a real baked potato."
Yeah.
And I was like, you didn't have to tell me that Stallone wrote those lines. It's very apparent. That's how Stallone talks.
It's like when we did Cobra and he's cutting the pizza with scissors. You're like, I know no one told him to do that. Only
he just wanted to do that. Or like for a while, he would end all his Instagram posts with "keep punching." It's like,
nice.
Like hell yeah, man! You're not a boxer, but okay. You did play one.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if he was like "keep cobraing." I'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And so
cool.
Frankenstein comes out, and he has a green car with like teeth. They really they're really playing fast and loose with this Frankenstein.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I know that's true.
The other ones have like Machine Gun Joe's, like the swastika car is very German themed.
Yeah.
Frankenstein drives a crocodile car. I was like, I don't see the connection.
I don't. It was weird,
but it looks really fun.
Yeah, it looks
I bought it immediately. I didn't even question it.
Yes, let me be clear. The first time I saw this movie was like in middle school, and my whole goal in life was to save enough money to get a Machine Gun Joe car, which I assumed that you could get, but apparently it's against the law. And also, speaking of that,
the Machine Gun Joe. Oh, because you love Stallone.
It's because I love Stallone. Well, I did. Yeah. I still do love him, except for the last 2 years.
What's happened in 2 years?
Oh, he's like part of Trump's movie council.
Yeah.
What?
He's like a super Republican.
He dove on in, yeah.
Oh no.
He's not even a cool conservative like Schwarzenegger. He's a full-on mega guy.
Wow.
Come back to us, Stallone.
Yeah, we forgot. I'll
save you.
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
And it's also like it's funny to be in this movie, Rambo, Rocky. Those are all politically charged movies, and they're kind of on the right side. Like this movie's very anti-fascist government, and so it's like not to say, but yeah. And so Frankenstein. So they go off on this road, and see. Here's the other twist: is that this race takes place over a couple of days, so you can't just like take the race off.
Right. They're going from coast to coast. They're going from New York, which looks nothing like Manhattan, all the way to LA. Yeah. Yeah,
they're going from New York to LA, and it somehow looks all like LA, but we won't get
it. They drive. It's like they're going through the streets of Manhattan right now, and they're going through like this tiniest little skyscrapers. 2 seconds later, they're in like the mountains of like the valley.
Yeah.
See, this actually has this has one of those things I love where they clearly, because it's supposed to be the future, but everyone's just kind of dressed like it's still the 70s when it was made in the 70s.
Especially the audience.
And then the only things that are like futuristic are that like, oh, the government's collapsed and like been reordered. And then there's like a matte painting of some like future towers in the very first couple shots.
It actually looks awesome. It
does look cool.
I love the world. Yeah.
But it's like retro future thing, you know.
And they do mention that the government collapsed like 20 years ago, and so these races have been like after the fascists took over, the races like keep everyone in line, kind of, and everyone's kind of subservient to the thing, and so
it's
there's not a lot of freedom,
but much smarter.
And so, by the way, like now that we're talking about the cars real fast, so those cars, like you can even see it. There's a scene later on where Joe, like he hits someone and he like drops into a ledge. The car, if you're paying really close attention, before they cut, completely falls apart. They half of them didn't work and they had to push them up hills and shit. And then like Roger, like they were not street legal, so Roger Corman's driving them half the time because like the stunt drivers didn't want to risk.
He was the one brave enough. It was Roger Corman driving.
Yeah, he wasn't. It's not that he was brave enough; it was that he was cheap enough, and so
that's what
because if they did even something like remotely similar today, it would just be CGI. It's like no, they really had to slap those together and like
and that's why they look so cool.
Yeah.
And so, but yes, so as they start the race, it's not just the race to see who wins. You also get points, and the way you get points is by hitting people in the street and killing
Take them out.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and you can tell, like, again, very heavy-handed. So the points are, the older you are, the more points you get, and the younger you are, the more points you get.
Yeah,
and it's
like
100% population control.
And if you're a woman, it's always plus 10 points.
Yes.
Yeah, it's both a evil misogynist society, but no, the very first person who gets hit, this is one of those lines that like stays with me. You know, it's like what I think about this movie is it's a construction crew, and he's the one guy in the jackhammer, so he doesn't hear the car coming, and all of his friends run. Yeah. And then Stallone, Machine Gun Joe, runs him over, and the announcer goes, "Too bad he was only 38. 2 years later, and he would have been worth 3 times the points." So
right.
It's that kind of like both heavy-handed satire, but you're also like, I almost feel like they wouldn't even do this today. You know, it's almost like more biting.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's super like Verhoeven adjacent for sure.
Yes, very RoboCop.
It's that thing where they're, and it's actually funny because Corman came up with this idea, and when he started kind of doing the treatment, at first it was very serious, and he said it was like so kind of gross and vile.
Yeah, vile. He said he couldn't like it. Yeah.
Yeah, that he had to like add the kind of like make it more jokey, and I think it works because it almost feels like a propaganda video by itself. You know, like everyone's kind of overacting, and so it kind of gives us a heightened sense of reality. Which, if we're in a world where you can, if you like, there's a race to kill people, you want to have a heightened sense of reality. You don't want it because there's a very depressing version of this movie that nobody wants to see.
Yeah, where they're like running down. Yeah, and I think that's almost like because it kind of makes me think of like They Live, where it's like their lives in this movie are so bleak and terrible, but
it's
they keep
funny.
it just light enough with like the kind of like characters you follow that you can be like, all right, this is a romp, you know.
Yeah. Also, that guy's life rocked. He lived in tents and just worked job to job. It's called freedom, Josh.
He could do that now as a Grubhub driver. It'd be very easy.
He would have rocked it. And so then like everyone hits him, and then another point that they want to bring. Oh well, there's 2 things that before we get to the end of the first race. And so one part is like there's a scene where they bring out all these old people and they roll them out into the middle of the road as sacrifices for Frankenstein, and apparently they do this every year to just get rid of their old people. And so Frankenstein's
very serene. They're ready for it.
Yeah. And the girl, this is where we find out that the girl is a spy. His navigator is a spy for the rebellion. There's a rebellion.
I don't think we find it out that quick. No, we find out because he takes off his mask. So this is first. Because it's like, oh, how gross do you look under there? And he just looks like a normal guy, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where she's like, what the heck?
What's going on here? He doesn't tell her yet, though, right?
Although
he doesn't tell her till like almost the end.
No, he doesn't tell her the whole thing, but he has his mask off most of the movie.
Yeah, very many times for sure.
But they really do play it like he's this beautiful man underneath, but he kind of just looks like a normal guy. Like,
he looks very like David Carradine. Like it is
like
funny,
a little grizzled, you know.
Because she's like, "You're perfect," and he's like clearly balding. Like, you know what? That's the '70s charm.
His
no
teeth are a little aged.
And so but instead of hitting the old people, he hits all the doctors and stuff, and he kills them.
Yeah.
And then we also see Nero, the hero, and this is where it gets revealed. He's about to hit a baby that's just lying in the road, but then we find out that the baby is actually a comically version of a bomb where it's like dynamite and and the doll head's crying, and so he hits it and it explodes. And this is another important part of this movie, because then they're like initial reports are there's the rebellion killed someone, and then they're like, actually Calamity Jane just got an impressive score, and they give it to Calamity Jane. And it's like, oh yeah, they're literally changing. Like there's parts in this movie where the announcer literally gets handed a card and he has to change what he just said. So it's like it's very clearly putting you in that world where like every form of speech has been kind of canceled. You know?
Everything is like there's no real anything.
Yeah,
at all. And like there's another announcer too that's like So there's the guy what's his name? Don, what was it? The
Machine
regional
Gun.
announcer.
Oh, Don Steele.
There's Don Steele, and then there's a lady who's like
Oh, yeah,
totally
the dear
Jennifer
friend of mine.
Coolidge. I feel like Jennifer Coolidge saw this
Her name
movie
Yeah.
and was like,
in
I'm
the
doing
movie
this
is
for my whole career.
Grace Pander. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Grace
oh,
Pander, yeah,
what
yeah.
a great name.
And like every time she's on, she's always like, oh, and every time she mentions a race, she's like, my dearest friend,
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
A
So
dear
it's like we're at
friend
that
of
level
mine.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
just baloney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she'll be like, "Oh, Machine Gun Joe, a dear friend of mine."
Yeah.
And so then after that happens, they stop, and because it's a long you have to drive all the way across the country. There's stops, so there's like sanctioned stops where they have food, you can refuel, blah blah blah. They put you back in order, all that stuff, and so
Right.
they're all
St.
getting
Louis and
massages.
Albuquerque. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all getting massages, and they're all butt naked. Also,
yeah, everyone's naked.
Yeah, this is the
we
first like
should-
real exploitation scene for sure.
yeah, again, this is like a real grindhouse, so it is exploitative. So yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of naked women in this film, and they're also like, yeah, because they're always hooking up with their spouses. So you just see if there's a woman in this movie, you're probably gonna see her.
Yeah.
At some point. And so they're all like talking, and like the girl, Frankenstein's navigator is talking to Stallone, and like Frankenstein gets a little jealous, and then like they kind of get into fights, and also the government leaders are like, hey guys, it was just he crashed into a tree, it was a mistake, so like don't worry about it, wasn't the rebellion. And they're like, okay. They don't really like, I think that's another cool part about this movie is that the racers, other than Frankenstein, we'll find out he has sinister motives in a bit, but they all like are so unhinged. They're very uncontrollable, especially like Machine Gun Joe.
Totally.
Even though
yeah.
they're not like Machine Gun Joe 100% believes in this society. He's just so unhinged that like you can't really tell him what to do.
Right. It's like at the end of the day, like what does he even like actually believe in? Like he
Yeah.
believes in racing.
He's kind of like
Frankenstein.
He wants
just the
to
dark
kill.
side.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think it's like it's interesting because they kind of like play it like he knows they're like lying. He's like, oh, I know the rebellion's real. Like kind of like he kind of sees past the propaganda. He just doesn't care. He's just like, that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as
Yeah.
the race keeps going on and I might win.
There's a
Right.
great scene like near the end where he's like talking about how he's not willing to risk himself because he's like, oh, like it's like he believes, even though he doesn't believe that it was a tree and he knows it's a rebellion, he still believes that the government's going to protect him despite the fact that they're lying openly to his face. And so it's like a weird juxtaposition, but you do meet people like that who like can't see anything like in front of them. They're just kind of living,
Right.
Right.
It's almost like, oh, they treat everyone else as disposable, but I'm special. Like,
Yeah.
I'm good.
okay. I'm a
That's
racer.
very-
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then the girl gives him the wrong way to go. She gives him like a false tip. And so then Frankenstein's
Yeah.
like, oh, now I love you. Let's hook up. And so they go to the room and then they dance. And also, if
yeah.
you
Also,
if you
the room
ladies,
looks awesome too.
if you ladies thought that there was nothing for you, just know that David Carradine is in his black underwear. Like
And,
half of the movie. He's in it quite a bit.
Beautiful David Carradine, but even though we know under the mask he's beautiful, he still will not take off one of his gloves. And she's like, why won't you take it off? He's like, you'll find out later. And that's the
Yeah.
big mystery as the movie continues. What's
course.
under the glove?
Yeah, he also leaves his socks on most of the time, which I don't think is part of it. I think that was just a request by Mr. Carradine.
That's just
'cause
a
why
weird
else?
thing some guys do. Socks in bed. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. People do it. People do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but it is.
then-
yeah.
Oh, that's the only thing that happens during the first night, right?
Yeah.
so.
They.
Oh
they-
wait, no.
Frankenstein does trick
there's-
Machine Gun Joe into beating his girlfriend in front of the
Oh
cameras.
yes, because
Oh,
well,
the
it's-
meeting.
no.
The meeting. You're gonna talk about.
he
the meeting.
doesn't trick her. So the girl's flirting with Machine Gun Joe.
Right, so he
And
goes
so
and
to
talks
get him
to
back
her.
at him, he goes and
Yeah.
talks to her. And then it's so funny because he tells her, he says, tell him that I whispered sweet nothings in your ear. And then Machine Gun Joe comes over and he's like, hey, what did he tell you? And she's kind of an airhead. That's like her character. And so she goes, he told me there was nothing sweet in my ear.
Yeah, but it causes him to wig out and
To freak out,
and
yeah.
go crazy in front of the cameras. But it doesn't. It's It's a bad society.
It's like
They
his
don't
the
character.
cameras want that.
They
But
love
then
that. Yeah, they want it.
right before him and Frankenstein and his navigator hook up, he meets a young girl,
Yeah,
and she's part of his fan club, and she won a contest, and part of that contest is that she will sacrifice herself to give him points. And also like, cause she's like, this is where cause he asked her like, oh, what do you want in return? You want to sleep with me? And she's like, no, that's your navigator's privilege. Like she worked years to earn that, and I didn't earn it, so I can't even look at you. And like, so that's the society they're in. That's why it's kind of hard to
they're
describe
idolized.
the navigator driver role, because it's like, it's kind of uncoerced, but it's their society. It's like they're bred to like, so forced marriage or arranged marriage is kind of the best way to think about it.
Yeah. And this movie's pretty vague on like world building, like, and that's kind of what makes it like what we were talking about earlier, how it's like you can't get too heavy in this movie or else it gets to be sad and actually kind of messed up. So it's like I feel like that's kind of a part of it. It's like not going too much into the world and like
sticking to the race.
Yeah, it kind of makes it more fun. And like if they would have gone more like, that's probably the saddest part of the movie is that girl. Yeah. And it's like if they would have shown her commune or something, like you probably would have been like, oh god, this is gross. But it's like it's kind of weird, and then it's kind of not that big of a deal. But it's like it's like they do a good job of like keeping it light enough, but also giving you enough information that you kind of understand what's going on in this world, while not making it too heavy. Yeah.
Right. And so the next day, she does wait in the road, and he does hit her.
Yeah,
and I do wonder.
She just walks into the middle of the road, and she's like wearing a robe, like a ceremonial robe. Yeah, she's all
like, it literally looks like she's sacrificing herself, like to King Kong. And they're all like around her, and they're like so happy. And so like she even asks him like, "Oh, why'd she do that?" And Frankenstein's like, "She had to." And it's kind of like he's answering for why he did that too, because like he couldn't break.
Yeah,
and he can't break the facade that much. He can like, because again, he's already like, instead of hitting the old people, he hit the doctors who try to kill him. So he's already shown that he's a little bit different than everyone thinks. He's not going to go for like the most vicious.
Yeah. He's bending the rules in a way like, how do you act morally in this world as this racer? Like, it's almost like there's limits to it, but you can like do it around the edges.
Right. And then speaking of that, then Joe, he gets lost because he took the bad route, and he like gets out and he's like, "Hey man, where am I?" And there's like a fisherman, and he's like, "Oh, you got to go back that 45 minutes and stuff." And he's like, "Oh, I love you, sir. I have all pictures in my outhouse of you. You're my favorite racer, Mr. Frankenstein." And then Joe's like, "You got 5 seconds to live." He like starts chasing it. And that's where the car breaks apart. If you watch the movie,
because it jumps into the ravine.
It falls apart for a second. And then he runs over that guy. But it's also like, wait, you have pictures of Frankenstein all over your outhouse, and you confuse the two of them? Like, they look nothing alike.
Nor kind of cars on you, look similar, really. Very different for photos.
We also forgot to say, like, before the first finish line, right before they're about to cross, like, Joe is in the lead, and so he sees it. And it says, "Welcome, Frankenstein." And his whole thing is that he thinks that he should be on the same level as Frankenstein, but he's number 2.
Furious.
And so he's like, "Where's the banner that says Welcome, Machine Gun Joe Viterbo?" And I say it every time because Stallone says it every time. He never doesn't say one part of his name. It's always Machine Gun Joe Viterbo. And also the announcer also says his full name every single time. And so the guy's like, he kills the guy putting up the sign, but he hits him, and he like looks at the guy's coworker, and he's like, "Hey, should I finish the job?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, do it." And he goes, "Customer's always right." And he hits him with the car. So it's that kind of like, I think every time, again, if you made the killings too depressing,
too dark,
it would ruin the mood that you're going for.
I kind of like that. They do enough of like showing, because the whole idea is like, obviously they'll hit you and get points or whatever, but it's also like you kind of have to, unless like your job or whatever just circumstance puts you there,
right? You have to
kind of willingly go out there and be like, "Oh, I'm going to be in the road." Otherwise, you would just stay inside, and you almost see like the different facets of who would be into that. And it's very like, oh yeah, there's like the girls, like it's kind of like a cult basically, or the there's a
we
a
forgot about
bullfighter,
this guy. Yeah,
a
yeah.
bullfighter who like
yeah.
who will like
he fights Calamity Jane.
yeah,
And
and
every time he dodges the car, he just leans back.
Yeah,
you almost like they almost kind of play it. It's like the 70s version of like people trying to get like viral on social media today.
Right,
like, if I get
for sure.
famous enough,
Absolutely.
it's worth dying or almost dying
There's-
because
Yeah.
everyone's
my
going to
moment.
see
It's
my
one
face.
thing that I did.
Yeah.
where they'll even
got
like
killed
put
by
on
Calamity.
costumes and stuff, and
Yeah.
it does feel like
it's very like kind of
like how are
playing
these
out
guys
this
trying to like
Yeah.
feed off of this culture, you know?
Yeah, it's like
Um,
like life is so cheap and so meaningless that only being like seen on this TV show matters, even if you
Right,
die.
Oh,
you know?
and then before they stop, so Frankenstein, that's where we find out that they have a plan. Like the rebellion's old lady that they have. Every like rebellion from the
She's, like,
70s and the
French or
80s
something.
had like a super old person as like their main leader
Yeah.
who was like, we have to go back. The Running Man again. We're just gonna mention the Running Man a lot, so watch out for that review because they also do it. And so she's like, okay, here's the plan. We're gonna replace Frankenstein with our guy, and then we're gonna tell the president. It's a very she's old, and so she voted for the Democrats, and so she's like, oh yeah, hey, we're gonna give him a strongly worded letter
Right.
when we meet the president.
We
And
do
so,
not think this is good.
Yeah. So Frankenstein immediately like runs everyone over. He's like, why was he just like me? And so he's starting to suspect something. And so then we get to the night 2, and this is where we find out that the German SS girl and Calamity Jane have a feud, which is completely unrelated to the main plot. It's just like a fun
just kind of
aside.
Yeah.
And so and also when they fight, they're completely naked because of the movie that we're watching.
It is the
Anytime
70s.
they're not racing, they're naked.
Yeah.
That's just
literally
how it is.
Yes.
If they're not in the car, they are literally naked.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then that's the last night, or there's another night? Because there's one more night, right?
Well, that's in Albuquerque, so I think the next day is just straight up.
Is straight to LA.
When everything
okay,
kind of goes down. Yeah.
So that's when finally she shows them the thing, the hand thing.
He finally takes it. He finally reveals what's under his glove.
Right.
And it's she's gonna like, how are you gonna do this? I'm gonna use a hand grenade. It's a hand grenade because it's his hand
it's
and
literally
inside of it
embedded
into his hand.
A comical like Party City prop style.
Because he goes,
he goes into his hand.
Yeah, he goes, whoever wins the race gets to shake the president's hand.
Shake the hand.
And here's my hand grenade. It's like, okay, but it could have not looked like that. Like, you could have just made it look like a hand and been a bomb, like plastic
and make
explosive.
it way less dangerous. But also, it's like he's like always hanging out in like. Well, I don't know if I want to spoil it. Am I going to spoil anything? Do we know everything about him at this time?
Yeah. I think it's been pretty clear. It's not like a huge twist because it's very clear from the beginning.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So he's been in the hospital with all these like military doctors. So it's like, when did he have time to like?
Right.
Wait, who did that for him?
Well, and see, here's one of the things where, and I do like this again. I like exactly how much they revealed to us, but here's an interesting thing, and you can read it a couple of different ways. Because like the whole thing is that Frankenstein, every time he wins the race, he has to like get remade. But then they kind of elude because David Carradine's like, oh, this Frankenstein is gonna be the last Frankenstein. He's like, I was growing up in a lab, and blah blah. Like so it kind of sounds like they build a bunch of kids. And every time a Frankenstein dies, they just replace him with another Frankenstein.
And just give him prosthetics.
Yeah, and so this is the last one. And so this one, for some reason, is not like the same robot as the other ones. But again, they don't go too far.
So maybe it was the scientist that did it,
Yeah, like maybe they're part of it. But I took it less as like, oh, he's like literally built, and more like, oh, they just find like orphans and like do surgery on them. I don't know. Like it was vague. I don't think they said
either way. I feel like the society that we're watching wouldn't really have orphanages because I don't think they would have you wouldn't be able to produce without like the government like watching over you and deciding where your
that's
child
true.
goes.
It's very possible. Yeah.
But yeah, so now they're like, oh, we can do this together, but I love you, and then they like have relations, but they also had relations the first night, so it's like it's not really that different. You're already here, guys. Yeah, relations, YouTube.
Shall we relation?
You let us say bad words for 1 week, and then you took it away again. But yeah, so then they're like, we're gonna stop them, and so then they go out again, and they're all like pretty worried. Oh no, and then like that's when I think they do stop, because then the SS girl dies, and then they have another meeting.
Yeah, I think they do take her out with the mine, right?
No, there's
the trap door.
Yes, they take her out. Wile E. Coyote. So they're driving, and first of all, she kills the Calamity Jane's navigator.
The navigator,
he was fixing the car in the middle of the street like a dummy. And then she's like, how were you able to do that? And it's like, he was lying in the middle of the street and she didn't really do anything. And so they're like chasing each other. And then someone puts up a Wile E. Coyote level tunnel that they've painted on cardboard.
Yeah.
And the SS girl's like, let's go. And so she drives through it, and then she just crashes, of course. And
it's literally
explodes.
Looney Tunes. It's literally Looney Tunes. Yeah.
And then they have a meeting about it. And that's when they're like, that wasn't the rebellion. She had a crash and she slipped or something like that. And that's when
about the German girl, or about
about the German girl. And that's when Stallone, because that's when Stallone goes, hey, that's two things, bullshit. You don't remember that?
Yeah, part? Yeah. You only got a half right.
And he's only eating mashed potatoes, but by the giant spoonful.
Yeah.
He has mashed potatoes all over his shirt because he keeps spilling it. And he's also just eating mashed potatoes the whole time, despite there being other food on the plate. Yeah, because that's what he's
like, okay. Yeah.
I thought it was whipped cream.
It's just everywhere.
No, because there's like chicken on the
dessert.
plate. Yeah.
So because that's like whenever you need to film ice cream for anything, you use mashed potatoes, right? Because it won't
the scoop
melt under.
It doesn't melt. Yeah.
So who knows? It's a blob of food, whatever.
Yeah. It's a hilarious food.
Some guy.
Yeah, and that's when like the guys are like, hey, one of the country guys or the like president's guys like, hey Joe, don't forget I'm the one who decides who lives and dies. And then like Joe does not care at all, and he like keeps threatening the guy and spits mashed potatoes or whatever he's eating out of his face.
Oh, I'm the president's right hand man. I'm the emissary. I have carte blanche to kill anyone I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know what you look like to me? A big turkey. Stallone, like,
I feel like in the 70s, turkey used to be such an insult.
It's also like, I mean, his best movie is Rocky, and Rocky talks in a very specific way. Like everyone's always like, oh, it's because he's like a little bit slower because he's a boxer and he wasn't super educated. But it's also like, no, because sometimes when Stallone talks, he talks like that anyway.
Yeah.
So
sometimes he writes his own lines.
he's kind of himself. Yeah.
I do, and so then they're like going out, but they're all scared, and then just to show you, and then before they go out, the girl, like Joe kind of traps the girl, and she's like, oh, I'm going to, like, I didn't mean to send you on the wrong thing. Let's call a truce. And then Joe tries to take advantage of the situation. So Frankenstein has to come in and beat him up. And also the music during that thing is like every action movie in the 70s music where it's like, dun, dun, dun. It's like,
it's kind of an intense fight.
Yeah. They like go all over that mechanics. They're like beating the hell out of each other.
Yeah. He almost stabs him into the blade. I was like,
yeah.
I feel a little bit tense right now.
I know. Which also, it's like, is that a real blade or is that? I guess it is because he's been cutting people up the whole time. But,
yeah.
Oh, you mean is it in the universe of the film?
Yes, in the universe. I guess it would be. Yeah,
they're cutting people up all the time.
I would assume everything
with that red paint blood, which is somehow scarier than real blood.
Yeah, which is like super bright. And so then they're like, enough of him. Let's go finish the job. And so then they're on the next race, and there's only 3 of them. And there's a real cool part where Calamity Jane's like, hey, guys, just want to let you know, good luck, whoever wins. And Frankenstein's like, good luck to you, Jane. And then he goes to Machine Gun Joe, and she's like, hey, I just want to tell you good luck. And he goes, save it for the tabloids.
Yeah. And she's like, whatever. Who cares?
That's also where he was like, oh no, I dropped my other glove just so he can kill that one guy.
Oh yes, because there's a preacher.
Yeah. The preacher.
Oh, and then
the corrupt priest.
And that's another good scene, which I'm glad you brought up, because they kill the preacher, and like then the girl's like, oh, that's gonna be a lot of points, and Joe's like, no, you can't kill a race official, it's against the rules. And then they're like, actually, it's not anymore. Frankenstein just got 100 points. And it's like, that's the world. Again, they like change the rules. There's no real rules. It's just whatever.
Right. No one ever tried it before.
Whatever works with the propaganda. Because they're like, well, Frankenstein can't do something bad to show he's even a little bit against the government. So if he hits an official, it has to be a new rule where you can hit officials. So to show that Frankenstein's still part of the game. Like he's not breaking any rules. And so it's just an interesting thing they do a couple of times, which I think is very smart. And so then they're in the last part, and then Joe, of course, attacks. Oh, well, that's when Calamity Jane, because she's chasing, and they have like a landmine, which is, again, like Calamity Jane so far, despite the fact that she has hit a couple of people with her car to kill them, and she lives in this universe, she seems pretty like nice. Like she seems as nice as you can
like
be,
a normal person.
As a writer.
When she was saying that, like whoever wins, we're still friends. Like she meant that genuinely.
Yeah,
like
she's very
talking about.
She's very nice, and then she's like chasing these bikers, and they're actually rebellions, and they've put a landmine, and she kills them. And then she's like backing up, and it's almost like what they did to Boba Fett, where it's like, why is this a joke murder? Right. She's like backing up and keeps missing it by like
slow,
a second.
Yeah, it's the Austin Powers 50-point turn.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not the character to do that with. But again, I guess they all die pretty comically with the Looney Tunes.
Yeah. It's all little blow-ups too.
Yeah. And so then they keep fighting, but then Machine Gun Joe has other plans, and so he decides to attack Frankenstein, which I feel is one of those things where it's like, I think he just attacked Frankenstein because they needed to get rid of Machine Gun Joe somehow,
and he uses little oil slick so they could do a little oil slick.
Yeah,
just get him out of the way. But she has to use the hand grenade to thwart him,
extinguish him,
ruining his assassination plans.
Yeah, and so now he's like, "What are we gonna do?" And she's like, "I got just the plan." And then it freeze frames, and they like go to the next part, and it's like, so then they're going to the president's thing, and they're like, "Frankenstein, he's coming up," and so he like goes to the top of the aisle. He's gonna go shake his hand, and then it turns out it's the girl. And so then,
what I like about this though is that it's not
shot,
right. All three of them are not working because it's like she comes up to shake his hand, pretending to be Frankenstein. The other resistance old woman thinks that's the real Frankenstein, so she's going to shoot him.
Yeah,
and then
and
the real Frankenstein is in the car being like, "Oh, I'll take advantage of this," but none of them are working together. So it just all,
but it all lines
kind of worked perfectly.
Well, and it's also like that's kind of one of the. It's not a problem with the movie, but it's a problem with the good guys in this movie. Is that they never know what anyone else's plan is, so they sometimes get in each other's way, and by sometimes it's every single time.
They're like leftists in real life, basically.
Yeah, they're like
they don't talk to each other. They mostly argue and trip over each other.
Yeah, it's all about arguing and not doing anything helpful. And so then he gets out of the car and he hits her, or he hits all the president and his flunkies, and then it just cuts, and they're like, "Hey, now Frankenstein's the president."
A hard cut to everyone loved it. He won the election, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm gonna restore democracy and free elections."
Yeah. And it's like it's such a everything was bad because he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get freedom of speech back, and also get jobs to minorities again, and also everyone can get married." And it's like, okay, guys, we understand your politics.
He also says,
and then the old lady's like, "If anybody wants to not live in happiness, they can go."
Yeah, they can go somewhere else.
One thing I like, and I was like, do you think Roger Corman put this in, where it's like, "Oh, and I'm going to move the seat of power to Los Angeles."
Oh yeah,
like,
new LA. New LA.
By the way, Hollywood is now the capital of America.
And then it's my favorite part where the announcer is like, "You can't stop the game. The games are America. the games of violence.
Oh yeah,
the games are the metaphor for marriage. It's like we understand Roger Corman. And so then Frankenstein hits him with his car, and I'm like, I'm very confused about this, about what your ideology is now.
Like,
I look because that guy's super like 70s up. The whole like he's the most dressed of the 70s as anyone in this film. But when he hits him, you just see his like neckerchief float to the ground.
And there's another older reporter who doesn't really matter that much, but he picks up the neckerchief. And he's like, Godspeed, Mr. President. And it's like, that's a weird way to end this movie, guys.
But I really
very anti-violence movie.
Until, but everyone hates that reporter. So I kind of like...
No, he was my favorite part.
That's one of those things that really bothered me about... I don't know if you guys saw those Hunger Games movies.
Oh, yeah.
It's also about...
I've seen 3 of them.
A reality show.
Yeah.
But Stanley Tucci is the basically
he's the
that
guy,
role, the kind of main media guy. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's like fun because you love to hate this guy, and then he's just not in the last 2 movies, and you're like, wait, so what happened to him? Whereas this movie's like, guy gets run over. It's fun.
I also think, it also reminds me kind of like there's The Purge, which I think is a cool idea for a movie series, but I don't think it's ever been done well. And I think one of the reasons is because like this movie, like yes, there is opposition, but we're seeing how the world works so much. Like half the movie is just like in the culture and just like living how the world works. Where a lot of The Purge, it's like the whole time they want to keep telling you that the Purge is bad, and it's like, I know it's bad. That's why I'm watching this movie. I want to see how this culture would evolve from such a bad thing, you know. And it's like that's why I think this works a lot better than those movies, because it really like it expects the audience to come along instead of like every 5 minutes being like, this is a movie, right? It's a movie.
Right. Which I think that's kind of like how Verhoeven does it too, which is why this seems so similar, because it's like in Starship Troopers, it's like you might not get that it's satire, even though it's pretty obvious, but it's like you're excited that they're going to war, kind of. Just and you're like, man, this place sucks.
As a kid, I was like, kill those bugs.
Join the army.
Like, I don't understand.
Click to learn more.
I was like, why are the leads so boring?
It draws you in, like, even if you're missing the satire, you're like, I'm like watching this like interesting. Whereas it's not like just here's the message, Like,
and speaking of Verhoeven, we do have a deep dive which will be linked somewhere. We'll put it at the end. Click on that to see our Paul Verhoeven retrospective. But so then. I just think and that's the other thing that I think this movie is really cool about. It's like, it's telling the perils, and like, this is one of the cool things about these kind of movies. This is like when people talk about grindhouses they really like, this is what they mean. They're talking about these movies where it was clearly made for nothing. They guerrilla styled so much of it, but it's has something to say, and it's very poignant, like it's not just like, here's a movie to try to get as much money as I can. It's like, but we're trying to say something too. Like even though the satire is really thick, it's like, but I'd rather have this than kind of like the direct to DVD movies now, where it's like, this is nothing. This is just trying to be a Marvel.
See, that's what. No, I
like that Will Smith org movie,
but and that's almost like a lot of like movies where they're like, it takes place in the future, and they'll be like, the one thing that's different is like everyone's a clone. It's like it's always just some very fixed single premise. Whereas this movie, like, even though it's about the death race, it's like, no, the future is like everything's dumber and worse. So that's kind of what's come true,
And,
it's like,
that's the thing. I think this movie's super poignant, especially right now, because it does tell of the perils of like everyone's so indifferent to violence against each other, and it's like as we live in this culture, that's what happens if you get too far in, and like if you change stuff to like have everyone turn against each other, this is what you're gonna end up with, where everyone like is literally against each other, and you're hitting each other with
you're like it's like there's no sense of community, so you're literally cheering if like you see someone hit with a car on TV,
right. And I think it's especially it's easy to like kind of forget someone's humanity when you don't really like them, but I think this movie is kind of showing that like you also have to understand that we as a society gets worse the more hate is pumped into the world,
absolutely.
And so I don't know. I think this movie's really good. I think everyone should watch it. It is very bloody, but it's very cartoony.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
also
it's
like
one of my
favorite gym.
it's like 75 minutes. Like it's one of those things where you're like,
short.
it really cuts to the chase, and it's really a romp.
I had started watching it, and then I had to go to the bathroom, and I paused it, and I was also halfway through, so I was like, okay, all right, Machine Gun Joe Viterbo. I also think like you do see. Night. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna put it on last night, and I was like, I'm kind of sleepy, and then I put it on. It was like 67 minutes, and I was like, oh, perfection.
There you go. Yeah, oh, hey, you know what we didn't even say too, because right as it's ending, and he drives off into the sunset, and it starts rolling credits. It starts playing this like documentary narration. On the nature of, like,
which was kind of cool.
Murder, like Neolithic violence, where it's like, man, before he could even reason, committed violence. And I'm like, oh, I love when they just state the movie's premise like that.
It literally says at the very end over the credits, and it's also just showing like the Machine Gun Joe car. But it's saying that like the people who invented violence were our ancestors who had no brains, because you have to have no brains to think that violence is the answer. Which again, it's like your ending shot is a little bit contradictory to that.
Right,
I guess there is always
the guy.
Sometimes violence is necessary to stop World War II, but I do think it's funny to be like so anti violence, and that's how you kind of saw a lot of these movies. I think that's why like movies like Fantastic Four, where it shows this kind of utopia, it doesn't work as well because it's a setting. It's not like this movie, the future isn't a setting, it's also part of the message. And I think that makes it more poignant, or it makes it more interesting to watch, even if it's like, if you look at any special effect in Fantastic Four, it's a million times better than any special effect in Death Race 2000. But to me, it's more interesting to watch a Death Race 2000 movie and see like what he's trying to say and how he's trying to say it. Because it's like, oh yeah, it's a good message. We should not let our like this kind of violent culture turn us violent.
You can almost like, if you're wanting to just say like, oh, what's like a good example of someone kind of getting it right in like the modern day, would be like Avatar, I would say, where it's like, oh, it's about how it's like, you can't coexist with someone who wants to like kill you,
destroy,
like kill everyone you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's still like an anti-violent message, because it's like, it's all in self-defense.
But I guess the real question would have been, would the Na'vi have survived if instead of that general, it was Machine Gun Joe Viterbo? Because I don't think they would have.
A ship? I don't think so. Yeah,
he gets
give him an avatar
mecha thing. He gets in the mecha thing, and it's even a huger knife just on the front of his head. It's like that doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
They don't understand. They're like, they don't have a word for baked potato in Na'vi, so his references
they don't understand anything he's talking about. But yeah, no, it's a good movie. It's interesting. It's like because you hear people all the time, you hear more people talk about grindhouses than actual grindhouses to watch, because the idea of a grindhouse is so cool. But this is why those ideas became cool, because it's like, and I think this is kind of why. Well, and maybe we'll review it one day, but why the Rodriguez Tarantino one doesn't work as well for me, because it's not political at all. But even if you look at like even Blackula, and I'm actually going to talk about this in our next deep dive, but even Blackula, it's like about he gets turned because he went to Dracula to try to help him free the slaves. And it's like horror, especially grindhouses, have always been very politically charged. And so it's weird that like it's weird that Tarantino doesn't like go that politically charged, especially when a lot of his movies are. So it's just like a weird. Why didn't you go all the way?
It's like after that they kind of became like, beforehand they weren't really like. It was like I feel like there was a change of Tarantino.
It's like he made a conscious decision to like be like, now I'm going
to not do it. Yeah, it was like whenever Inglourious Basterds on, I feel like it became kind of like more politically conscious, but like Grindhouse and before were kind of like entertainment, really good entertainment.
Right. Because even Jackie like Brown has cool themes, but it doesn't really have like a political message,
Yeah, it's just kind of like that.
That's probably the most of all of them for sure. Yeah.
Right.
He also didn't write Jackie Brown, so
he adapted it.
That's true. The novel, yeah. Rum Punch, I believe.
This is good. It's very, like I said, you'll watch it and you'll see stuff that you're like, oh man, this is just like very politics of like the modern day, but it's like, no, it's just showing you how like cyclical, like a lot of the dumb stuff that we think is like unique to modern politics is just like, no, it just keeps coming back around, you know?
Right.
It's like society keeps
right.
Kind of like we didn't talk about the president that much because he's only in 2 scenes, but this very first scene in the movie is welcoming the racers from atop a golden staircase with like the light.
Oh, a very mysterious staircase.
Like the dear leader,
the summer
like propaganda, and it's just like, yeah, I mean it's like all these like propaganda figures. It's all the same imagery, all the same stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It's almost comforting.
That would be what it would be like.
It's like none of it's new. It's just bad old stuff happening again, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so check it out. It's on Tubi. It's very short, so you'll like it either way.
And it's on Prime as well.
If you've seen it already, tell us what you. Oh yeah, you can kind of find it on everything.
Tell us how beautiful you find David Carradine, and do you think he's okay that he wears socks when he's in bed?
Yeah,
the most important
every
question.
Single time.
I'd say no.
Yeah, join us.
I think it's weird.
Join us next week. We have another film, and then of course we're gonna get into Halloween. We have our theme picked already, so we'll get into it. Check us out next week. We'll see you then, and welcome back, or we'll see you back later on the Bomb Squad. I didn't know how to end it at all. Stop.
Are we going still?